Saturday, the 30th of March. Hope everybody's doing well. I'm going to do a book diary, so there will be spoilers of Crave the Chase by Sid BlackRose. This is Noah and Chase. Noah's very, very, obsessed, totally obsessed with Chase. And Chase is his psychiatrist. And, it's forbidden. Yeah. And Chase sees all these red flags in Noah, but doesn't care. Well, maybe he does it first, you know what I mean? So, it's just how Noah, gets him, controls it, gets him to do what he wants. So, it's very, very, very red flags and very, dark and twisted, because Noah, he's a true psychopath. He doesn't care who gets hurt as long as he gets what he wants. So I did start reading it on my Kindle, but I wanted to get the physical copy and annotate it. So this is what I'm going to be doing. I'm hoping to finish it by tomorrow night. If not, we'll just roll it into Monday. Yeah. But yeah, I will update you guys. I'm going to read to you guys certain things that he says to Chase and stuff to, make him start falling under him, under his spell, brainwash, whatever you want to say. So, yeah, I was really loving what I read, even though Noah, like I said, is a true psychopath. So, again, excuse me, there will be spoilers. So, I will update you guys in a little while. Again, happy Saturday. Hi, everybody. I got a book, and then I was going to talk. I didn't get to read much, but I did start it. So, I want to give you some, read some of these passages so you can get into Noah's head as well, like I am. And you can also get a little bit of what Chase feels. But anyways, I got this book today called No Filters. It's the first book in the No Shame series by Nora Phoenix. And it's a Mel. I think it's a trilogy. I think it's, all of them are with these three guys. And Indy is running from his ex-lover, which is he's a mobster one. And he gets attacked, and then Noah and Josh find him, and then it's their story, all three of them. You guys know me with Noah's. I'm obsessed. So, but speaking of Noah's, this one is crazy. It starts out in the prologue with him getting ready to beat the shit out of this guy. Well, at first he was just going to beat the shit out of him. Because this guy tried to attack him, rob him. And then he goes like this to this guy. He goes, first he says, "I'm so sick of fuckers like this, excuse after excuse. Evil knows evil, and this guy is right down there in the fire pits with me." But anyways, it says, he goes, "I moved back from him because his bad breath is making me nauseous. He lungs for me with a smaller knife than he pulls out from the inside of his jacket. That he pulled out from the inside of his jacket. I duck down as he approaches me and slam my shoulder into his stomach, forcing him to the ground and making the knife fall out of his hand. He tried to hit out, but a blow in his belly with my fist halts his movement as he attempts to hold himself steady against the wall. Now, if he just backed off, I could have maybe moved along, but he'll never know. I pick up the small knife that he dropped and walked over to where he is still hurtled over himself, gripping his stomach. Grabbing his long hair, I forced his head back, and he shouts in pain as I tighten my hold. "You picked the wrong guy," I said as I stabbed the knife up under his chin, where it pierces through the tissues with ease, until the tip of the blade is visible in his mouth. He collapsed backwards, his back slumped up against the wall. His breathing is panicked, but he's mostly silent. It's probably the shock. I the ground to find the other knife he threatened me with and pick it up, examined the handle that had been taped so many times with duct tape to keep it attached to the blade. It looks comical, but it will serve its purpose. Nobody touches me. Then he goes to the guy, just be grateful you won't need any money where you're going. And then he goes, I laugh and stab the knife into his chest. His half-closed eyes open in surprise, but start to dim shortly after. Blah, blah, blah. And then he goes, with this evening's entertainment being better than I thought, I leisurely walk back to my apartment, whistling into the night, knowing I'll sleep a little better. And then we go to Chase. He's talking about, let me see. I'm only 28, but seeing with some of these seeing what some of these patients struggle with mentally had aged me significantly. I don't see the world through rose-tinted glasses. All I see is pain and struggle for the few good people in the world. Cutting my mind off from work has always been a difficulty for me. I seem to absorb other people's problems and have this overwhelming need to find a solution, then obsesses about it. I want to help my other patients. I want to help others. My parents were the classic toxic as shit couple who loved the bottle more than their kids. My older brother, Tyler, pretty much raised me, which enabled me to go to college to get a blah, blah, blah. He goes and he says, he's talking about his ex, Wade, who he found cheated on him. And that's why they broke up. And that's part of the story, too, is that he keeps bugging him. But anyways, he goes, let me find it. But there's some other stuff. He talks about being lonely. And then he talks about how his skin looks dull and stuff like that, and about his eyes. And then he says, but yeah, so he talks about how lonely he is and stuff like that. So yeah, you could tell that he's really wants somebody to take care of him and love him, and you just want to be with him and no one else, you know what I mean? And then the next chapter is Noah going to Chase's for the first time his appointment. First he's talking about how he hates his mom and dad, and he would like to put them both in the mansion and light it on fire and listen to them scream as they're burning and dying. He's cray. And then this is what he says when he's walking in to meet to meet Chase for the first time. Stepping over the threshold, an odd feeling overtakes me that I've never felt before. This room suddenly feels pressured, like it's about to implode from the lack of oxygen. I watch as the man, who can't be much older than me, stands and walks around the desk to approach me. He has baby blue eyes that I want to see crying in rivers of fear. His mop of brown hair is thick and screaming to be pulled on. He's like a pretty boy jock and built like one too. Under those preppy pants and shirt, you can see he works out. And images flash through my mind of what it would be like to wrestle him, to choke him, to make him cry, while I skull F him with my COCK. I'm not going to say it out loud because I don't know if I would get, in trouble here, monitor it, whatever. And then he goes, I feel a rush of prickling heat speed up my spine. I want to smell him, bury my face in his neck and hair. He would look perfect tied up in my apartment. This is what they must mean by love at first sight, except in my case, it's claiming at first sight. He draws on, it draws on me that we've been standing here staring at each other, blah, blah, blah. He goes, then Chase is like how it's a safe place, and he's like, safe, I asked? And then he's like, and then after that, he said, safe, I asked? And then he's thinking to himself, he's far from safe with me, and now that he has my attention, he's in for a world of problem. Then he's talking about how he wants him to be his very own plaything. Yeah. And lock him up where he can give him all pleasure and attention of him. Yeah, he says, I'd often wonder what it would be like to have my own person to lock away for only my pleasure and attention, all mine. And then before he leaves, he says, talking about how Chase has settled into his brain and blood, and he's addicted to yeah. He says he's the kind of distraction entertainment I need to make the Monday days of boredom disappear. Excitement builds in my stomach at the thought of catching Chase. He doesn't know the hunting has begun, and I'll see him sooner than he thinks. And then it goes back to Chase. He's talking about how when Noah walked into the office, it started a fire that built up in his belly, that fluttered with butterflies of thrill and temptation. Talking about how gorgeous he is. And then he's talking about how he has these rings on his knuckles and tattoos running up his neck. And then he starts saying, but while he's the hottest man I've ever seen, he also has red flags that are flashing and warning around me. My gut is telling me he may not be stable. It's in his eyes, their lack of life and emotion. They just seem dead. Yeah. And he talks about his fantasies that he has about Noah, and that he is saying it's Noah's. It's Wade's fault because of the way he is, the way Wade treated him, And then he's talking about how he needs to recalibrate his thinking and stuff. But yeah, and then he's like, and then Wade shows up, of course, asshole. I hate that guy. Anyways, and then we're back to Noah. I think he's in his apartment. Is this when he's in the apartment? No, he follows him, and then he noticed that he saw that Wade showed up. And then he says some stuff about that. It's not important. And then Chase again. And he's talking about how he always had this fantasy that he would love to submit to, to be have a bad side. And then he's talking about how he always wanted to be dominant, someone to dominate him. And then he had fantasies about being taken without choice. Yeah. Then he's thinking about Noah doing that to him. And then he's getting ready to go into work, and he feels something, and then he turns around and Noah's there. And then we go back to Noah. That's where I'm at now. But he's in the bedroom. And he got into Chase's house because we found out that when he spooked Chase there, that he took the key from his back pocket. Yeah. But he made sure he made another key, and then when he broke into the house, he left the key somewhere because he noticed that he's been watching Chase, so he knows his routine, and he knows that he doesn't use the back door very much. So yeah, and that's where we are. But he also says he wants to. Let me see. While he's there, his dad called, and he's talking about that he's annoyed that his dad took up his time enjoying being in Chase's space. So yeah, and talking about how he wants to burn his dad's skin off and remove his limb as he watches him scream. And he wants his face to be his dad's last, his face, the last thing his dad sees before he takes his last breath. He's talking about, I know it's effed up. My dad is a master manipulator and is overconfident with it. So, yeah. So you could just tell how effed up he is, right? Like, he's really effed up. But it's so intriguing, like, reading this. Like, you could tell, like, why, how easy it is for Chase to be fallen, under his spell, whatever you want to call it. Because he just really, like, feels needy, and he wants just one person to love him, and, and just be his one, like, just want, to be that person's one and only, and stuff like that. So you can definitely tell why he is, like, prime, candidate for someone like Noah to go after, and all sense and purposes, he winds up, he's what you call him? He's he's starting to, what's that word? Oh my gosh, I can't think of the word I'm trying to think of. Not manipulate. Well, manipulate too, but like control them. I don't know what the word is. I'm trying to think. So he starts brainwashing them. That's what it is. You could tell already that he's gonna be like brainwashing him and stuff. So yeah, this is probably gonna be a long reading vlog, even though it's only gonna be one. It's probably gonna be pretty lengthy since I'm gonna be like talking to you guys about all these things that are going on. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of darkness because there's gonna be wax play in this. So the candle, like yeah. Anyways, that's why. Like if you look here, you can see the candle. That's why it keeps showing that, because that's gonna wind up happening. And then it also shows like how he was talking about Noah's rings and the tattoo. I mean, and he's talking about a tattoo that's running up him and stuff. But you can see the pictures of the tattoo. I mean, the rings. So you can see, I think there's part of the tattoo there. So anyways, it's really intriguing. But I'm going to let you guys go, and I will, if I read, I'm going to try to read like maybe another 50 pages before I go to bed tonight. Then I'll update you on those 50 pages if I have time. Otherwise, I'll update you after we get back from church tomorrow and I get the start of dinner going. Okay, I'll talk to you guys later. Hi, everybody. Happy Easter for everybody that celebrates. I wanted to give you a quick update on Craving the Chase before we get ready to go to Dunkin' Donuts and get stuff for church, and then go to church and eat, and then have our service. So, and then come home and do a whole bunch of cooking. So anyways, I am on page 169. I don't remember where I was when I updated you, but yeah, that's where I am now. And oh my gosh, like this guy is nuts. And he sneaks into Cole's house, and he was like, the first couple of times he was like, giving himself a BJ. I hope I can say that. And I mean, well, he was playing, what I'm talking about. He was, himself. And he wore a condom, and then he goes, oh, I got a good idea. And he wound up, you know what, on Chase. It was so gross. And Chase would wake up and he would be like, oh my gosh, I haven't had a, what do they call it, daydream or whatever they're called, or whatever those are called, in since I was young. How, I mean, and how is Noah able to like bring this out in me, and how am I not feeling it? I was like, ew, that's so gross. But yeah, he got it all. Anyways, he had, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. So all over him. So yeah, and then his brother came to stay, and he was trying to sneak in, and he wound up knocking his brother out. Noah did. Noah knocked Tyler out, which is Chase's brother. Okay, so I didn't say that right. And he was like, talk about like, oh, he also, did I tell you, he, that, Chase's ex was kept bothering him, and Noah went and slashed the guy's face and warned him away. And of course, the guy didn't listen. He goes, I'm going to have to go take care of him once he uses him a little bit, because his dad wants something, I don't know. And he's just doing it like to get on his dad's nerves. He does not like his dad at all. And his dad's goonie came and tried to get him to leave with him to go to his dad, to see his dad, and he wound up hurting that guy as well. And then he was telling Cole, like, I will protect you, and, all this kind of stuff. All the kind of stuff that you would want someone to tell you if you're, like, lonely and stuff like that. So, yeah. And then, the second time they went to go get, he went and got a coffee and a muffin, a blueberry muffin, I think it was. The first time, they fed each other, and he fed Cole that, Chase that, and nothing happened. And then the second time, they were sitting down, and he was doing that, and this guy was being all, what you call it, how you say that word, and like saying, like, we don't want to see that going on, and, and everything, and Noah hit him, and he said he was going to go and tell, and the lady, and the, what you call it, said something about, the waitress, whatever you want to call it, or the host, whatever, said, we don't deal with that kind of behavior here. You have to leave. And then, right where I'm at now, he's about to go and kill that guy. The one that was, because he said that he messed up his and Chase's, fun time and stuff like that, and made Chase sad and stuff like that. And yeah, you talk about obsessive, you talk about touch him and die, you just look at him the wrong way, and Noah's gonna kill whoever it is. But yeah, it's just like he was telling him, like, they were having sex, and he was like, don't I always tell you the truth, and I've never done anything to hurt you, and all this stuff. And yeah, Chase is definitely fallen under his spell big time. So I know I forgot some stuff, but I'm not going to tell you everything in case you decide you want to read it. But yeah, because there's a lot more that goes on during their first sexual encounter, where they went all the way. So there's other stuff. So, but I don't want to go over all that, because I don't want to spoil everything. But anyways, I'm going to let you guys go. And I'm hoping that once we get home and I get, like, the potatoes cut, get the noodles soft, and the eggs done while they're all cooling before I have to do the next step, I can read some more, and then hopefully finish this tonight. I would love to finish it tonight. But I'm also reading another book on my Kindle, but I'm almost done with that one. So I want to kind of finish that one first, so at least I'll get one more set of points for Ramadan. And yeah, that's it for right now. I will talk to you guys when I have more to say about the book. Bye for now. Hi, everybody. I finally was able to sit down and read some more in Craven the Chase. This guy is really, like I keep saying, I'm going to say it again, psycho, psycho, psycho. Like, I don't get Chase, how Chase could be like, at the same time I do, like, I kind of understand why he's like getting sucked into this, into Noah and stuff like that, but at the same time, yeah. I would be like running to the hills. And he knows he's seen all these signs, but yet he's choosing to ignore him. Like, he knows that, you know, that Chase is, that Noah is brainwashing him, and he's still, like, choosing to ignore it. Like, yeah. But I'm on page 189. It says I'm 70% through, so I don't have much longer, but I think the last time I updated you, I told you that he was getting ready to kill that guy. Oh my gosh, I'm glad I wasn't eating or drinking it. Eating anything. That was so brutal how he killed that guy. Oh my gosh. I almost got sick. I'm so glad I wasn't eating because I would have got sick. And then after that, he goes to Chase's and they have sex, and he does that temperature play, like he had a candle and he put it, not gonna say where. Ew, like no. Ew. I'm sorry if that's somebody's thing, that's fine, but for me, no. He's like, what was that? He goes, just a little candle wax. Don't worry, baby. You'll enjoy it. Oh, gross. Then he calls Noah his shadow. This is what he says. Let me find it. If I can find the part where he calls Noah his shadow. Let me find it. Because he says it there, but he says it somewhere else as well. I can't find it. Maybe it's here. My shadow. Yeah, he goes, Noah is dressed up, top to bottom in black, as he stands at the end of the bed, watching me. He reminds me of a shadow. My shadow, always in the dark, following me, watching me, wanting me. My shadow. Yeah. He even winds up calling him my shadow to him. And then, right here, he goes, call me that name again. And he goes, shadow, my shadow. Yeah. But he's like right here, he's like, could we make this work? Could I love an unpredictable psychopath who makes me feel whole and watch for the first time in my life? The scariest question of all is this real? Yeah, he does. Like, he even, like, talks about these, like, red flags that he's seeing. And, yeah. But then he's like, well, he's given me, I feel seen for the first time. I feel, like somebody really loves me, all that kind of stuff. So that's why he's, like, ignoring all the signs, all the red flags. But still, like, come on. Like, get a life. Come on. Like, find somebody real. Don't be falling for this psychopath. But you can, like, the words he uses and stuff, and he can be really, like, be really convincing. Very, 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 very convincing. Like, it's creepy as F. And then sometimes he'll say, like, ladies and gentlemen, like when he killed that guy, he was saying, ladies and gentlemen, this shows you something. I don't remember exact words, but he was like, so I was like, okay. Yeah. But anyways, I should be done with this pretty soon. If not before dinner, then after. I did get some books. I got the next book. There's like a set. There's going to be like 3 sets of duologies. The first set is out. This is the second set, which is Beta Team by Ames Mills. I forgot what the first one was. But they're all parts of the Forest Grove series. And I did read the first 2, which I'm blanking on the name. Saviors and Savior Part 2, maybe? Welcome to Forest Grove. This part of a duet and will end on a cliffhanger. The story will feature Ari, Tyler, Kian, Gavin, Jason, and Kara, K-I-R-A. So, yeah. It says it includes murder, assault, explicit sex scenes, mention of past trauma, and some other stuff. So, there's a lot of triggers. But, yeah, I read the first 2 last year, and I freaking loved them. And I read For the Love of Cain. Why am I getting the name wrong? But, yeah. I love For the Love of Cain. Like, that's my favorite so far. But Rags to Witches, that's the one. Part 1 and 2. I think that's the one I read. And I also read The Saviors, Part 1 and 2. Yeah. And I read For the Love of Cain, like I said, which is Mel. Mafia White Shoes. Oh my god, that was my favorite out of all of them. So I'm really excited. Everything's been a 5 and 6, I think, from Amos Mills. So I'm excited. I got this one. I didn't get the first 2 because I wasn't intrigued about them. But this one sounds intriguing. Hobbit Hills, Book 3 by H.C. Riley, Jagged Edges. This is a Mel, I think? Or is it just Mel? I think it might just be Mel. No, because it says Zeke, Riot, Cole. So, I guess, let me see. So he pushes Riot away from him. Then Riot starts, is with Cole, and then Zeke and all of them are going to wind up, it's going to be being Mel. But this one really has a lot of triggers. Like, I'll read you a couple. There's a nice big playlist. There's like vulgar language, murder, off-page CSA. There's a mention of trafficking on page SA and some other stuff. So there's a lot of triggers. But yeah, this one sounds like it's going to be intriguing too. And then, of course, I got another Riley Hart book, Endless Stretch of Blue. They don't know each other at first, but they only know, they've never met each other, but they both, like, were at a place when something happened, or they lost somebody, maybe, at a place, and, yeah, this is something about, like, there was, like, a fire or something. This is Lorenzo Moretti and Damian Blackwell has never met, but they're tied together by the same tragedy. They were both there, so they were there that night. They each lost someone they loved. They've been living as shells of their former selves ever since, running into each other and realizing their shared past. Pure serendipity. And then it says, yeah. So, yeah, but there was a fire that happened. So, yeah. And it's Enzo and, what did I say? Enzo and, yeah, or Lorenzo, but he goes by Enzo and Damien. Okay, I will be back once I finish this and tell you how it ended. Even though we already know that they're going to stay together. Come on. To me, I think I would like it. I would like it a lot better if they wouldn't have stayed together. If Chase would, like, say, okay, I know this is wrong. Let me get out of here, But we know it ain't going to happen. but I'm still really like fascinated by everything. So it's at least going to be a 4-star. I don't know if I can honestly give it a 5 or 6-star just because of it's supposed to be a HEA, you know, it's supposed to be like a dark romance, but to me it's just dark with sex in it. And like I said, I would rather them like, you know, like wind up not getting together at the end. But I'm still like intrigued by Noah, but at the same time, I would not want him by me. I wouldn't want his attention on me. And I just don't understand, like, how Chase. I do understand how he could fall for it, but at the same time, I don't. Like, come on. Like, come on. You even are saying that he's got red flags all over the place. You know what I mean? Like, galore, he's saying. But yet, he's not. He's not, you know? So you just want to go whack him beside the head and tell him, quit it. Quit it, quit it, quit it. But anyways, yeah. So, I will be back either before dinner or after. And hopefully I'll be done. Okay, bye. Hi, everybody. I'm back. I finished it. Guy. When he killed that one guy, oh my gosh. And then, I think I already talked about that. Then, he wound up killing his dad and the guy that, like, is his dad's henchman, whatever. Bodyguard / henchman. I don't know what you would call him. Ugh. Ooh, it's not gross. But how crazy this guy was. It was like, psst, the hell? Like, he just was like so, like, what's that word by Noah? He was so, what'd you call it? Like, brainwashed, that's the word. So brainwashed by him. Like, it was crazy. Like, I'm going to read to you, like, what he says a little bit. We can get into his head more about how, and into, like, how, why Chase, what'd you call it? Anyways, he finds out that the car that was following him was Noah's and some other stuff. He found out, like, certain deaths and things like that. And then he goes, stop with the wait a minute. He tells him he has to stay there until he starts to calm down and start to think clearly. He goes, think clearly? I am thinking clearly because I'm human with normal human feelings and normal human morals. And then Noah's like, stop with that howler, how you say that word, then thou bullshit. You're a therapist, Chase. You trained to spot the signs, and you did with me on the first day, which is true. But didn't stop you from wanting me when I hurt poor little Wade. It still didn't stop you taking my, you know what, like the perfect little you know what you are. When I blanked that asshole, it didn't stop you from letting me take that hot body. It didn't stop you from begging me to F you harder. And then he's like, you brainwashed me. It wasn't like that, you brainwashed me. That's what he says. And he goes, and then Noah's like, even after you found out that I watched you sleep every night, that I came on you while you blanked, I blanked on you when you slept, that I hurt your brother, you still invited me into your home and bed, baby. And that makes me the psycho. If that's what makes me a psycho, what does that make you? Yes. I still at his words. I have nothing to say to that because shit, he's right. What does that make me? A masochist? A selfish, you know what, a-hole? not holding myself accountable that I did continue the thing between us with all the red flags ablaze in front of me. But I dove in head first because I couldn't stop myself. And he's like, I've given you nothing but what you wanted, despite all that you know I've done. You still want me, Chase. You crave me as much as I crave you. You need me, baby, like I need you, to protect you, to F you, to complete you. You may not be like me when it comes to dealing with life, but you secretly love the thrill of my darkness, baby. That's why you were drawn to the shadows. You get a kick out of it. If it excites you, it turns you on, knowing that I would burn the world for you. Burn down the world for you. That I watch you all the time. You love it, Chase. He goes, no, he's wrong. I can't love it. I can't. But then my heart, my effing heart, it needs to be. Noah was the one to revive it. Blah, 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 blah. And he's still trying to say, he needs, that Noah needs help and stuff like that. And he goes, and to leave him alone and stuff. And he says, never, we don't need, they both need help. And he goes, never, we don't need help. We just need each other. You wouldn't survive without me, baby. I don't want you to. And I sure in the F refuse to live without you. So, yeah. But it says, blah, 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 some other stuff. And he goes, and then Chase is like, without a thought, I grab his face, kissing him with everything I have, handling myself over the shadow, and I hope I stay there. It's the only truth I know. It's the only time I have felt truly alive. God help me. And then there's another one here where he says, let me see if there's anything else I wanted to say. This is another one. Now he's like, this was when his ex bothers him again. He says, did he touch you? No, I'm okay. I just never seen him like this before. Blah, blah, blah. And then he goes, I want him to leave me alone. And then Noah's like, don't look worried, baby. I've got this. And he goes, what do you mean you got this? Look at me, Chase. Who will always protect you and make the bad go away? He goes, you, but you don't need to hurt people to do that. Like how they hurt you, eye for an eye, baby. People like your parents and Wade won't ever learn. It's not how they work. They only care about themselves. Look at what they did to you. Abandoned you. Treated you like shit. Cheated. Bullied, and then he's like, why are you saying this? Are you trying to hurt me? He goes, no, I'm being honest. Look around those people in your life who push you down. It's not your fault that you're so starved for touch and attention that you will fall. You want full in with me. It's because you see me. You see nothing but the truth in me. I'm a bad man who does bad things. There's no limit for what I would do to keep you, baby. But I'd never hurt you like those effers. And then he's like, my eyes fill with emotion. What he says makes sense, but I can't help how pathetic it makes me feel. The good and the bad guy on each other's shoulder hardly fight now as the bad guy drowns out the noise of the good guy. What had been a good person ever done? What has being a good person ever done for me? Only ever brought me pain and heartache, and because apparently I'm a horrible person who has lost the moral compass, I hand myself over to Noah fully with a soul-destroying kiss, and that's both warm and toxic, a deadly combination. Yeah, so he's really, that's when he really, went crazy and just let Noah have control. Okay, so real quick, I gave it a 4-star. I'm starting to, try to do if there's any steam, give a rating for the steam. So I put, I finished it in one day, because I finished it, in 24 hours, because I finished it yesterday and started it today. Started it yesterday and finished it today. I gave it 4 stars, and then I gave it 3.5 on the steam level. Yeah. So it just ends his friend Liam was trying to get him not to, to quit ignoring the signs and, get him to get help and get away from Noah and stuff. And of course, he doesn't want to do that. And then, yeah. And some other stuff happens, and he winds up, they wind up, staying together, of course. I'm not going to tell you everything, but yeah. I liked it. I wish that it would have been the opposite, though, and not a romance, a dark romance. I would rather have been like a what does it call it? Thriller? Physiological? How do you say that? Thriller? Yeah. And I wish Noah would have died. Yeah. I just didn't think that, I didn't want Chase to end up with him. I wanted him to get help. So, and I just didn't like some of the things that Noah did. Well, I didn't like any of the things Noah did, but you know what I mean. I didn't like, some things were like, okay, this is okay to have this in the book, but I kind of wish this didn't happen in the book. But like I said, my biggest complaint is that I didn't want it to be a HEA. I knew it was going to be, of course, but I think it would have been better not being HEA and not getting them two together. I think it would have been a neat thing for him to wind up, breaking free from Noah and finding someone else that wasn't psychopathic. Yeah. But I understand why the author did it, And, yeah. You could tell how very manipulated Noah is, how he was able to manipulate Chase because of how lonely and how much Chase, started getting really beat down and wanted somebody to take charge for he wouldn't have to. He didn't have to think and stuff like that. Noah just knew what buttons to push, what the right words to say. So, yeah. But I still liked it. Don't get me wrong. I still gave it 4 stars. And, yeah, he definitely fascinated me as a character. And I liked, getting into his head. But at the same time, I hated getting into his head. So, yeah, those are my feelings. If you guys read this, what did you guys think? I know I spoiled a lot of things, but did anything I say or spoil make you want to read it or make you glad you haven't read it? I just think it's very, like I said, it was very fascinating to get into his head. And there was a couple of times where it was like he was talking to you, you know what I mean? Like the reader. So I like that. So yeah. Overall, I'm really glad I read this. I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone a little bit, and this definitely got me out of my comfort zone. So yeah, that is it. I don't know how many points this is going to give me, but it should at least give me 10, 20. I know I'll at least get 30 points plus whatever those are bonuses. And then whatever my the regular things will get me. So I know it'll give me 10 points because it has my object on the cover, which is a house. Because, of course, right here, you can tell it's a house. On the back, you can tell there's a house. It's my team color because there's a lot of black. And it's over 201 pages, so it'll give me 10 points for that. So that's at least 30. And then I don't know if I'm going to attack or defend. I'm probably going to defend. But yeah, that is it. Let me know what you think down below. And until next time, you guys know it. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please think about subscribing. Please hit that thumb up thing. And please leave a comment. Please, 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 please leave a comment. And a like. That's what I wanted to say. Hit the like button. And I hope you guys enjoy this. Until next time, happy reading. Thanks for being awesome. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.